Hello friends, hello fans, hello loyal audience. Haters are welcome alike. So I know, I promised that I produced the last video on crit as a the matrix dissected and unloaded, the next level. But there was a theory that I developed in the beginning, and then later I kind of changed it. But then I'm gonna go back and revisit that again. However, I got few other points, so I promise, I know, I promise this is the last video, but you never know. I may actually produce another, but that's it. I'm like I said, getting a little bit wary of this and tired. Maybe you too as well. But if you're enjoying this, this video will be worthwhile. Watching this video, it will be worthwhile. All right. All right, let's look here. As you can see, here I am looking and I am seeing, give me a second. All right. All these, now I am back to saying that the decapitation was real and may not be exact decapitation, but the red pill and the glass of water basically destroyed the brain, and now he's paralyzed, right? Or in a vegetative state or a coma, right? He's a plant, right? But if you look, all his sperms, right? These are sperms to be extracted from him. They're all red. Notice nothing in this scene here. What appears on the screen is blue, right? They're red, but they're just red. They're attached to him. He's producing them, or whatnot, right? So now we begin to see blues, right? And again, the red are just plain red, right? But the blues are extracting energy, and these are the sperms that are alive. So here, if it's red, it's dead. If it's blue, it's alive, is what they're saying. All right. And again, he's in a coma. And he is now being treated to take the sperms only into the blue, the realm of the blue. And that's where the oracle is, with those potentials and women and Trinity, shape-shifting into the Buddhist and so on, right?
He still needs a lot of work.
A lot of work, right? Meaning that he's so destroyed, he's been in the fridge for so long, he's been in a coma for so long, maybe 200 years, I don't know.
Your muscles have atrophied.
Your muscles have atrophied. I think that means, and excuse my language or my French, like they say, right? Pardon my French. I think that's his organ, you know, reproductive organ, because he hasn't used it for what, 100 years or so. Again, you never used them. You were in a coma. You were in a fridge or something of the sort, right? I know, I keep doing this, nudging my camera into position. Alright.
Never used them before.
Huh. Wow. I don't know who you are or what you are, or if you're watching this, you want to learn your lesson, you never go there. You never take pills. I am glad I've taken the green pill.
The answers are coming.
Right? Like I said, so, and again, here, I mentioned that you'd see a face of a dog, yes, but here, you would begin to see an eye, and then like horn figure, you know, like, and so on. So that's the creature within is unable to do anything, right? You will see it, it becomes clearer, right? Right? You'd see an eye. Here it does appear to me like this is an eye. If you focus a little bit, you will see that there's like there's an eye, and there are those spikes, you know, sticks and spiking out of his skull. And so the one within, this here, the one within, and I think that's an eye. It's very close. If you look closer to on the screen, you will see that's an eye. So that's the entity within being helpless, right? So Morpheus was able to trick the physical body, but the spirit, or like they say, the inmost God, as they talk and brag about here, is really in fact awake, and it knows that it's being trapped, right? And the dark, of course, is when that stern phase of the machine, hovering machine or hovercraft, right? Let's go back, or let's finish this first. Right? So the dog, he's a dog now. Notice he twitches, he tries to get up, the entity within tried to wake him up, but he just can't get up. Did you see that? And guess what? Look here. Now there's more blues, right? And the red are just dying. And Morpheus is showing you that, right? There you go. They are being physically and genetically and being removed from him, meaning they will, after they supposedly captured the one, right, or the God in the flesh or whatnot, they want to make sure that he doesn't give reproduce reds, right, only blues for them. That's it. He's incarcerated, he's trapped, he's blah 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 blah, and these fools don't know what they're doing. As you can see, there are needles. I mentioned that before. And they're making sure he's under full control. Full control, the spine is our movement channel, right? Or communication channel. The hands, the stomach, and then there's the metacortex as well. So the God within knows it's trapped being in this, like they believe it's here on earth and so on. They don't know, right? Or up in heavens, but they have these weird ideas that were generated by heretics, we call Zindiqs or Sufis, and they adapted it. And it's a lot of BS, if you ask me, bullshit. See now, no more reds and only blues, right? But guess what? Alright. So he's been alive for a long time. Okay, sorry, I pressed the wrong button. Alright, so they vanish, right? Now, this here, I have also a better idea of it now. This is like in a coma. He's in a coma, right? And then he's being fed by a serum, and here looks to me like that's how you see a dead person in their casket in the morgue, right? Or in the funeral home, that's how they display them. So is there a place in this world where they keep people in a coma like this? Oh, I think so, right? I believe so. And they extract sperms from them, making sure that they don't go marry non-Zionistic or blues, right? Like reds, they make sure that that's not possible. So this here looks to me like a morgue, like a place for the comatose, right? And here they keep extracting their sperms and genetically. So this guy has no choice now. They just come and take his sperms and right? And he's comatose. They feed him by a serum, right? And what did Neo say before to him?
Yes.
He's only offering him the truth. He's telling him the truth. And he tricked him into taking the red pill, right? The blue pill for that matter as well, right? Once he was in that building, it's all over. And he is telling him he's only offering the truth. He shows him the door, but he has to walk through it, right? Okay, so let's watch. So, as I mentioned, this is a dog's face. But look at this here. Okay, this here now, I think I have a better handle on it. I think this is a floating hovercraft. Remember what Morpheus said, floating hovercraft? So this here, I think, is really the Nebuchadnezzar, right? That hovercraft where Neo and Mio and Cleo and whatnot, right? And Trinity and Singularity live, right? And this is a dog leash. He was just leashed, but by way of metacortex, brainwash and brain dead and so on, and other things as well, right? There's like total control, and this is not your mother talking to you here. This is dictatorship, folks. This is like a dog kennel, and this is a torture chamber, right? Notice. He doesn't like it, but the pain is also reflecting on his face. And that's Nebuchadnezzar, you know, or Morpheus, or Tank. Tank, I said it was Tank. Could be Morpheus, I don't know. And notice, like I said here, he's treated chemically, or toxics, or poisons, or genetic altering material. But here there's something that rotates. I don't know what it is. It's like weird. It's wicked. Notice here. Look here. And I don't know what these two are, right? Did you see how it started spinning? That's like something that you do in the morgue, right? In the morgue, where they cut people after they die to embalm them and stuff like that, or torture chambers in the gulags and so on. And here, these two here are like crushing jaws, right? You know, like as you can see, right? Like that, right? That keeps spinning, right? Oh man, that's wicked. Okay, so that's what I wanted to say. Here they put the leash in him, and that's why they show you that dog face on the screen, right, on the monitor, in those monitors that you see in hospitals and here and there. So he's a comatose now, but he's a dog as well, right? All right, we'll do some more analysis here. Give me a second.
Hello?
Hello, Neo. Do you know who this is?
He's supposed to know who it is, right? I mean, that's how this phone conversation, excuse me, is one dementing, unnerving, the total nervous breakdown causing session here. This guy is basically breaking him, but he's showing him who's master, right? And this show, or introduction of master, is not something that's friendly, right? You're here, now you're broken, you either succumb. Reminds me of Benny Hill's succumb, right? You either succumb, or you basically obey like a dog and die in the process.
Yeah.
You know,
I've been looking.
Morpheus. So now the word Morpheus, there is an Arabic word close to it. I said it's shape-shifting here. Some people say it's that dream god of Greek and so on. But there's something close to it in Arabic called marfus. Marfus is in fact the kicked, you know, like past tense. So we say marfus, he's kicked out, you know, or you kick someone with your own boot or something. Rafasu, like they say rafis, or kicking by the leg. So he's marfus, right? I don't know, maybe it's true. I've been looking for you. That sounds ominous to me, folks, when somebody calls you like that. Say, I've been looking for you.
I don't know if you're ready to see what I want to show you.
Meaningly, you're not ready to bow down and succumb. You know how dogs grovel, right? They extend their front paws and, you know, bow down and then start squealing. That's what he's saying here. You're not ready.
But
Just,
unfortunately, you and I have run out of time.
he's not giving him time. That's it. You know, the analysis has been done, and they now going to break him, take humanity out of him.
They're coming for you, Neo, and I don't know what they're going to do.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Who's coming for me?
Stand up and see for yourself.
I'm ready.
Neo has it. Morpheus has it set up completely.
Now?
Now,
Yes, now. That of a dog.
do it slowly. The elevator.
Notice how they all look together. Shake. Yes.
What the hell do they want from me?
I don't know, but if you don't want to find out, I suggest you get out of there.
No.
How?
I can guide you, but you must
Okay, what did he say? I can guide you, but you must do exactly as I say.
exactly as I say.
Alright, that's the point I wanted to get here. So let me. Alright, what did he tell Neo? He told him you must do exactly as I say, right?
Surprise, asshole.
I bet you never saw this coming. Did you? God, I wish I could be that. Didn't they break you? I wish I could walk in just when it happened.
Alright, let's see.
You just shoved out
Alright, let's see.
right then. You know it was me.
You gave them Morpheus.
He lied to us, Trinity. He tricked us. If you would have told us the truth, we would have told you to shove that red pill right up your ass.
It's not true, Cypher. He set us free.
Free. You call this
You call this free?
free? All I do is what he tells me to do.
All he does is what he tells me to do now. Telling to do is okay. It's like, you know, each and every one of us experience that. You know, a parent telling you what to do, you do, right? A manager at work tells you what to do, he assigns you work, right? You do, right? But what he's saying here, all I do, meaningly, he's total control. This guy cannot perform any act or do anything unless Morpheus tells him to do so, right? And if he has any ambitions or notions or you know, activities or whatever he needs as a human being or does as a human being, Morpheus may deny him all, and it's apparent from the flow of the movie and the events. He never informs you of anything. Whenever you ask something, he deflects, right, and then gives you a different answer altogether. He never gives you an answer, but he really this is a dog training basically, right? But that's precisely what he told Neo. However, I want you to see something else. That's why I brought this up now. All I do is what he tells me to do.
We're gonna choose between that and Matrix.
I choose the Matrix. Okay. Now Trinity lied when she told him he set us free. Free from what? Right? As far as I'm concerned, he trapped her. But listen to what she says here. I mean, the clue at the beginning of the movie is very obvious.
Yeah.
Is everything in place?
You weren't supposed to relieve me.
I know, but I felt like taking a shift.
You like him, don't you? You like watching him.
Don't be ridiculous.
We're gonna kill him.
So we're gonna kill him. That's right. That's what they're going to do.
You understand that?
Morpheus believes he is.
Morpheus believes he is the one. Now, listen to what Cypher says, or the question he poses to Trinity, and her answer is very distinct. You may think it's meaningless, or you can just pass by it without observing, but it confirms the other two stance. What he told Neo in the cube, you have to do exactly as I say, and then what Cypher told you, all he does is what he tells him to do. But listen to Trinity.
The one. Doesn't matter what.
Do you? It doesn't matter what I believe. What does that mean? Means this, understand you fans of the Matrix, it doesn't matter what you believe, right? Your belief, your thought, what you do, right, is dictated to you by Morpheus. You're meaningless. You're just a brick in the wall, like Pink Floyd says. It does not matter what I believe. You can believe in anything you want to. God, I don't know, you believe in whatever it is that, but Zion makes sure you believe one thing, that whatever Morpheus or Marfus tells you to do. Man, that's funny, Marfus. Marfus is kicked, like I said. All right, so if it doesn't matter what I believe. She is stating a fact, because later when she says he freed us, he set us free, she's lying. She knows what it is. What kind of freedom is you become like an empty vessel, right? A beheaded statue sitting on the display of Morpheus, right? Can't think, can't eat. Eat goop, ruddy eggs, bowl of snot. Never go outside. Your society is so small, but most of all, you're in a coma producing sperms. And then what you believe doesn't matter, does it? Does it matter? That's what she's saying. Well, I thought this would be funny. Remove the jury and juris and the tian or shen, and you get the two words, my dick. Excuse me. That's what he's saying, right? Okay, there's something here I noticed. As I mentioned, this is Israel, right? And the 4 police officers are the surrounding countries. I would say Syria, and that's relevant because Assad, or the donkey, is mentioned earlier in that screen in Arabic and so on, and how he solved the Arabs in the 1967 war, and so on and so forth, right? And then the other ones are Jordan, right? Probably King Hussein here, or Jordan, right? And then the main character is Nasser of Egypt, right? Nasser of Egypt. So there was a fight, but here I noticed something that I want to bring to your attention. The shadow on the wall. If you look at the shadow on the wall, you would see something very funny, right? I'm not imagining things. Trust me on this. Here, what this signifies is, as you can see here, reflection, right? Right? And the head, right? Right? I'll let you imagine. Let loose your imaginations on the shadow here. But what does that mean, right? I think it means that they've taken down few, like maybe 1, maybe 2. That's Nasser, or that's so that could be what you just imagined, the funny part, or it could be given birth, right? Because we know Nasser of Egypt was born to a Zionist woman, a mother, right? And then there's Assad, right? So what I'm saying here is this could be a birth, right? Or this could be seduction, right? In entering a woman, entering on the politicians, right? Remember Matahari? And something similar, right? They come as, look as innocent as it gets, and benign, beautiful women, and so on. Or Esther, right? When Esther and Mordechai, or Hadassah, her name is Hadassah, Hadassah or Esther, and Mordechai, they taken over the Persian Empire by way of, right, getting married or something of the sort. So the shadow here could be intentional, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say. But what I am saying is, in this movie, it is almost certain that everything has a meaning, right? Everything has a meaning. Now, you may not see it due to my poor setup here, like modest setup, but the wall is green, right? So well, remember, whenever there's green, there's Islam or quasi-Islam or cults that grew or were raised or established or erected or conjured up in Islamdom, such as Shiism, Alawism, Fatimid, Safavid, things of the sort. Sufis, Sufis were the originators of modern Jews, as a matter of fact, at least in the belief system, right? Especially the Kabbalah and so on. But that's for a different video. And the Mashiach, right? Mashiach. So Mashiach, or the Messiah, right, of the Jews. The word Mashiach means sheikhdom, right? Sheikh or sheikhdom. Sheikh is really a certain you know, a man, lad, and so on and so on. And there's sheikh, right, at certain age, but sheikh also means the leader. So those old tribes, children of Israel, which were similar to the Arabs, right, or speaking a dialect of Arabic, they were waiting for something called Mashiach, or their sheikhs to come back, right? These were the 12 leaders, or at least the family of Dawood. But what they don't know is that term comes really from Mashiach, or from Arabic, or sheikhs of tribe, right? Sheikh, freaky sheiks. Alright, so as you can see, I just wanted to make a point here. Okay, there's a point to make as well, right? So she got the first two by way of sex or mothering rulers, right? The first two nations. And there remains two more. Yeah, these two were kicked, alright. Alright, so the seat. Now she launches the seat, right? This sound more like the seat of power, or the chair of power, right? So this may signify a military coup, right? So she took the other one by a military coup, right? Right? And there remains one, right? But she displays a supernatural thing. And the guy is changing face. I think they're like devils or stuntmen or something. Right? I know that is. Oh, that's his collar or something. But then here's what she does, right? Now she lights up a war between these two nations, right? These two countries. Now she's in control of the gun, of the weapons. And then as you can see, she gets one state or nation, or, well, in this case, police officers. And she lights up a war between them. They start shooting at each other, right? Right? What she's saying here, this is similar to, say, you know, England and or Germany and Russia or something of the sort, right? They're in control, and they light up that war that basically erases so many people and nations and so on, right? Like vicious war. So that's what she did, right? First, she committed a sex act, took down two nations or rulers, right? Maybe England and France, right? And then, or in the Arab world, maybe Egypt and Syria, right? Or Jordan and Lebanon and Iraq, or something of the sort, right? Now she pits one nation against another, and she controls the weapons, right? So she forces a fight between the two, right? And then once she's done with the first one nation, she destroys it, right? All right, let's seize it here. So here, there are a couple of notes I wanted to make.
You can make it.
Why?
First of all, you see that Morpheus and Tank and those are, oh, they never fight, right? You know, they never go out fighting.
Go.
So Morpheus is using Israel. I mean Trinity, you know, like as a hoof or as a fighting dog or something. But I think it's probably the other way around. I don't know. Because Trinity doesn't have that. They never show that she has any metacortex controller behind her skull. So, but here now you can see the fight is not in civilization. She's escaping through green, right? Through Islamdom. You know, Islamdom is large and so on. And they just hide there, right? And you cannot find them. So, as you can see, the green again. You're surrounded. Okay, so as you can see, the fight is in an ancient ruins, right? Or non-civilization. That's where the city is, but here, look at it. Meaning the fight may, or here, between the agent and Zion, right? May not be so obvious to you. It's fighting in the holes and wings and of arcane side of governments, of banking, of whatever, right? That's where others don't dwell except them and then the agents, right? Is what they're saying here. And notice they will show you that, right? So this is like very old. I don't know what that is. May signify something, right? I don't know what the heck that is, right? Again, this is where nobody dwells. People are in the city. Remember what Morpheus said about welcome to the desert of the real? You know, like this is destroyed. This is the old world, right? While the new world has buildings and so on, because Morpheus said they fired first, right? They scorched the sky. They scorched this world. So the fight is probably happening there. And here, as I explained to you, 555161, that's the flag of Zion, and they're firing back because they're shooting, you know, shooting. Right, as you can see, this is ruins here. They're fighting in place where that's the old world, let's put it this way. Or the world where humans don't go, right? And again, this could be virtual or a metaphor, or a simile, meaning the fight is not exactly guns, rather it is taken over. You know, corporations, stock market, grading and Frensington Institute of New York. I mean, you know, like, you know, banking and financial systems and so on. So somebody got killed here. I don't know who that is. And they're on the roof. Fight is on the roof. And cages do signify something here. Cages. Maybe Siberia or something. Oh, she's flying. Bad witch, good witch, is that what it is? So as you can see, like I think I mentioned this before, there's like old stairs and ruins, and maybe that's like you find something like this in the Middle East and Italy and Southern Europe and here and there, those old ancient civilizations. Alright, let's stop here. Okay, I noticed something here, I don't know. Maybe it's something, maybe it's not. Again, I'm speculating, I'm reading into the script and what I'm seeing here. I could be off. So notice. It shows ear on its own. Ear, search, but then it shows ear. Right? Ear. Let's try that again. Right? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much here. I thought I saw something here. But look at the gestures, hand gestures, you know. I mean, this is like a satanic workshop. This cave or grotto or cavern underground, you know. That's where they dance and dwell and stuff like that. But here's what I want you to see. I noticed something. I don't know again. Look at Shoei. I don't know, man. And I think if you look here, he's under that leather jacket, which is worn by... that's the same leather jacket as that of Trinity, right? But under it, there is the dress of a woman, robe of a woman, right? Notice. I swear to God, I thought I saw that, right? There you go. I mean, this sounds to me like that's what Trinity dresses, right? That's the Trinity's dress. So Trinity is shape-shifting all kind of all over the place here, but yeah, that's a woman's dress here, right? And I think that's her jacket as well. Okay, let's pause it here. Here, I think I recognize certain somebody. The profile and the hair. Can you shoot a guess to who this may or may not be? He makes electric car and he likes that electrical engineer. Do you see it? He goes by EM. I don't know. Try again. Let's see. I think that's him, right? Or someone looks like him. Look at the profile and the hair and the face and so on. I mean, he don't look. He looks a lot similar. This guy drives electric cars. All right. All right.
Who are you?
My name is Cindy.
The Trinity? That cracked the IRS base.
That was a long time ago.
Jeez.
What?
I saw you were a guy.
Thought you were a guy, right? I just showed you Chewy or Choi and how he dresses. And now he thinks she's a guy or you are a guy. And then there's that transmission or transformation into a Buddhist monk, right? So she's a shapeshifter, right? She's not a human being, is what I am understanding so far from all that description. You thought you were a guy, and what did she say?
Most guys do.
Most guys do. Is she really a man? I mean, the role, not she. Carrie Ann Moss, right? I'm not saying that about her. But in this role, is she a guy, right? That has been, with a sex operation, changed into a woman, similar to the Kukukowskis, right? Remember, I heard that they've done sex change or something of the sort, right? I don't know. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what she's saying, right? Maybe that's who she is, right?
I was doing my computer.
So let's see the spoiled brat again, who lives on King's retirement ransom from the government on account of taxpayers. Spoiled brat, right? I don't know. I'm gonna repeat this site for you here.
This is a pub. Switch.
You see it? So that's the father. That's possibly the mother. But they're not related, right? I mean, he does not know, but he has that feeling, like I said. Morpheus knows, right? She may be his mother, she may be his sister, and she's also the daughter of Cypher. So Cypher has a daughter and has a son, Neo, or they're his clone. Or it could be something, I don't know, but that's what this scene is all about. The gesturing here and the hints say so, right? And they're your blues, right? You see it? Alright, I just wanted to show you that. Oh, that ugly scene. Oh, that ugly scene here. Oh, man. I hope this is only a fiction, but I have a feeling that it's not. Let me show you something here.
And to realize the obviousness of the truth. What is the Matrix? Control. Change a human being
Okay, so as you can see, Neo is in one side of the sunglasses and the copper top is in the other. He's saying here that you are a copper top, right? Similar to him reflecting the agent with a gun. So there was a hand with a gun on this side of the sunglasses and there was Neo on the other, meaning you're gonna be killed, right?
Into this.
So that's what he just told him, is that's who you are.
No.
So here there's repetition. Like for example, this here is the Golda Meir at the end of the movie, and here, and here, all those people you'll see it's the same.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy.
That system's our, like George W. Bush, you're either with us or you're against us.
Things
Man, that loser.
we're trying to save. But until we do, these people are not ready to be unplugged.
So those people are pretty much the same people that were across the street waiting for the signal light to turn green so they can walk. You can recognize them here. They're very same set of people, but that makes no sense for me making a comment on it because they use the same actors, right? So I wanted to make one more note here. See that radio? I had some experience when I came to the United States. I was 18 and a half, landed in Houston. And then, you know, there was my ex-brother and his friends and so on. One day I was asleep, right? I was trying to go to sleep. And there were radios, right? You know, transistor radios. And then one I started, you know, tuning about AM, FM, and so on before I went to sleep. But then there was a channel that came on, right? I tuned it in, and they were broadcasting something really, really weird, right? AM. What it is, I don't know. But they were talking gibberish, music, speeches, you know, they were just, and the anchor or the presenter said, you know, like, you try to make as little sense as possible, right? And the sound was so monotonal, right? And even Arabic, you know, like I heard some Arabic sentences in there and so on. And but then I remember myself out of that, hearing that radio transmission, going into trance. I went into trance, I remember. Even though it made no sense, somehow it sounded interesting to me, and I kind of focused on it until I think I fell asleep or the program ended or something of the sort. I swear by Allah, I take an oath by Allah that radio session still echoes in my mind now, not as an influence, but rather as a unique experience. I still remember that. You know how they would like repeat certain tones, and it was something weird, man. So when I saw this radio, I tried to explain it. It's a communication radio or listening device, but it could be a subliminal ultra high frequency or some frequencies that they know of that influences the brain. You understand what I'm saying? And put somebody, try kind of influence somebody by way of waves, and not just by way of toxins or chemicals or genetic modifications, by way of chemistry or organic or something of the sort. So it could also be some kind of waves that they produce into the brain, that they put the brain into sleep or whatever it is. So I asked myself now, and I mentioned this before, could the immigrating to the United States be considered as taking the red pill? And then notice, when taking the red pill, you know, you go into all kind of weird stuff, right? Troubles and so on. But eventually, when you're on the stretcher and they're taking your sperms, guess what they do, right? They take all the red and kill it, and then they only produce the blues. They take all the sperms into the blue section of Zion or Jewish or something of the sort, right? That's it. You know, why go through it in the first place, right? But guess what? You know the rest. Okay, once more, back to this here. I think, like I said, he is in a coma or comatose. This could also be the cloning thing. So they're combining a number of concepts that corresponds to the movie or events in the movie. This could be a comatose, or could be a clone, or clones taken out from him, and now he's there's a leash on his neck like a dog, and maltreated and abused and so on, right? So there are many concepts here, but I lean towards saying that he's dead, right? He died, right? So notice he's trying to twitch and get up that entity within, or the spirit within, right? But he just can't, right?
He still needs a lot of work. Your muscles have
What are you doing?
atrophied.
And muscles atrophied, as I mentioned just a little bit earlier, means his reproductive organ, because he really never used it, right? So he could be a clone, or could be a clone that has real muscles. You know, clones are not exactly like parents. I heard they have like problems and so on, and they don't live long, and
You've never used them before.
you never used them before.
Resting.
That echoes in my mind all the time. I mean, they're just telling him the facts and the truth now, right? Not before he's taken the red pill or even gotten into that car, right? You see what I'm saying? Now he tells him you never used them. He's still deceptive about the facts.
The answers are coming.
See, he just twitched, right? So I think this is a cloning process. This is a clone, or this is a comatose, and they're extracting. You see what I'm trying to say here is like the overall picture is, you know, that's what it is. 200 years. Maybe he's been in a coma for 200 years. So the world that he knows is really, give me a second, it's really blue, right? And it appears to be blue, right? Look, blue. And it's like well camped and so on, right? And looks nice and dreamy, right? And so on.
World as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now.
Now that's green, right?
Now only as part of a
Meaningly green is only simulation.
neural interactive.
It's within the blue. Blue is really what he's saying is blue is dominant, and green is only a map or something of the sort. You take that from that book, which is this movie is based on Dissimulacra and Dissimulation by Baudrillard,
Simulation
Levran.
that we all make.
So the whole matrix is a simulation, is what he's saying, right? Why didn't he say that from the beginning?
You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world as it exists.
So you go to work, you have a car, nice clothes, blah blah, right? It's called the first world, or you know, there's like second world or third world and stuff like that, right? Right?
Today.
That's what they've done. He said later he scorched it, right? Means it's really void of civilization, of humanity, of so and so. They, I don't know what these two round things here are, you know, like a acoustic wave or something of the sort, right? And it could be like nukes or something. Right? So that's the world that Morpheus and Trinity and Zion and Nebuchadnezzar produced. This is a world now. You just don't see it. But where it was and where it is now, this world is void of humanity. It's just buildings, right? Standing buildings, you know, and trash and sewers hundreds of miles long, and where it was humanity. Where it is now, it's that, right? Who scorched it? It's them, right? Alright, let's seize it here for a second. So this is like a desert, right? This is Arabia. You know, you'd find it in the Muslim world or something like that. This here looks to me like I see this sign wherever I go sometimes here in the United States, you know, like the 2 chairs and a table and blah blah, you know. I think that's masonry, including that, you know, that thing that they do like that or something like that. But notice, Neo is not sitting down, only he is sitting down, right? Remember what I told you about this scene here and the ugly side of it? The ugly meaning of this scene here? I couldn't help but notice the sweater now is more like a dress. Notice. The sweater is too long, it's more like a dress, right? That's what I'm saying. Now notice, if you bring a psychologist to analyze this scene here, a psychiatrist or a psychologist or whoever can understand, you will notice that whatever Tank says here, his position and his movement, microfacial expression, he's very deceptive. He's trying to hide something. Notice.
Tank, I'll be your operator.
I'll be your operator. I would not have any operator. Not on me.
You don't have any holes? No. Me and my brother Dozer were both 100% pure old.
How proud he is being 100% pure, old-fashioned, homegrown human. Like meaningly he, Neo, is not human. Right?
Homegrown human, born free.
Or he's like a half life, half human or something of the sort. Talking monkey, sub-ape, human. Rabbi here, born right here.
Right here, in the real world.
Real world. So if you take these words, this just number of sentences here, it tells you all about Zion and Rabbi Tank and so on, and what they think of the world.
Child of Zion.
So everybody else who's not a child of Zion is not genuine. I don't know what that means, but
So, all is over tomorrow? So,
notice he looks away, he fidgets around, he's not earnest. The guy is deceptive. This guy is wearing the mask of sanity.
that's where the party would be. It's a city. The last human city.
Last human city. Were there any other human cities? Let's see what Tank has to say.
Only place we have left.
Now on the place we have left, right? So when you're part of genuine child of Zion, that's Jew, right? That's how you think of humanity in the world.
Where is it?
Notice. Now he starts looking around and never looks him in the face.
Underground?
Could be underground, I don't know. Maybe where that cavern and grotto is. Where Chowi was dancing. And
Maybe it's cold, but it's still warm.
or it could be virtual, meaning they're hiding in plain sight. Visible, what? Like is it hidden in plain sight? Notice when he says you live long enough, you might even see it. And he chuckles. I'm going to repeat that for you. Notice when he says, if you live long enough, you might even see it.
Still warm. Live long enough, you might even see it.
And he damned them, right? You know, like, I got to tell you, I'm excited to see what you are capable of. If you live long enough. Why? Because he knows. You know, he's laughing. He's laughing. He's chuckling. You know, like you're not gonna live long enough to see it. What he just said here is you're not gonna live long enough to see it. Let's repeat that again.
I gotta tell you, I feel.
Notice, what he just said is you're not gonna live long enough to see it. Excuse my modest studio here. Oh man, that's my neighbor. He's got that car.
Underground?
Notice he's not looking.
It's cold, but it's still warm. Live long enough, you might even see it.
You're not gonna live long enough to see it.
I gotta tell you, I'm fairly excited to see what you're capable of. If Morpheus is right now.
That is what he's really expecting here. He's here to basically harvest organs and sperms and brain matter and money, whatever you can offer. He's gonna take it all. He's not gonna leave your. He's not gonna even leave your bones alone, Neo. But guess what? You're already in a steel cage. You can't even run out.
Let's talk about this. But if you are,
Now there is another movie. I forgot its name. It's kind of scary. You know, that guy with the mask who imprisons people. You know, and when they're in a steel cage, they start killing each other and so on. And there was like 5 of it. And the mask on TV is like very evil. Give me a second, maybe I can find it. I forgot what that movie is. I can't find it. It's like this guy with like this deep voice. You know, he lures people into a place like this, and they start killing each other, or he kills them, or something of the sort. And he's talking, and he's got this weird mask on. That's basically what this is here. You know, they put him in a cage, and guess what? You're goner, MF. You never enter Nebuchadnezzar in Zion. But of course, sometimes you don't know, and they just trap you, right? You're on a hunt. Okay. Alright, so here he goes like this.
if you are, very exciting time.
He got himself a good harvest here. Good fish. Big fish. Operator. Wizard.
A lot to do.
Don't believe in wizards. They will throw you in the trash and kill you.
How do you do it?
He got a lot to do. He got to get to it. He's in a hurry. He's in rush.
Supposed to start with these
Supposed to start with these programs first.
operation programs first. That's me.
So what they teach the neophytes after they initiate them and decapitate them and whatnot, right? Or this is a clone. He seems to be capable, right? Major boring shit. So they don't. Operator, when you get initialized or initiated, right? For them, this is boring stuff, right? Boring shit. But they teach it to you nonetheless because you have to be trained like a dog, right? So they start you with very simple stuff. But this guy is the big megalodon fish they reeled in. So they don't need to teach you all this bullshit, you know, whatnot, you know, and shit like that. They're gonna send you into the fray, into the fight right there and then, and you will conquer so many people for them. They will try to, of course. Or I mean, goyim. Excuse me. You bring so many goyim under their rule.
A little more fun. How about
More fun.
combat training?
Combat. So they take them from indoctrination, simple indoctrination, similar to those who get enrolled. Inducted first. Initiated, right? Eventually they develop them. Sometimes they see them very capable, sometimes not. But this guy is a god in the flesh, right? This is the opportunity of a lifetime of existence, right? So they don't care about this bullshit, you know, like river of life and all that mythology and shit like that, right? Remember Joaquin Phoenix telling what's his name, Mel Gibson, you know, about people analyzing mythology and shit like that. They don't believe in that shit. This here could well be Mel Gibson, could well be Joaquin Phoenix, could well be Daniel Day-Lewis and the Gangs of New York. I'm gonna add one more comment on this. Well, 2, maybe more. Jesus Christ. So again, they're alluding to God in the flesh, right? So this here is a big catch, right?
Take a look at these neurokinetics. They're way above normal.
Notice, did you see what Tang did? And he was happy when he was beating Morpheus. He held his hand because he was afraid that he may help him or something, right? No, it's the other way around. So Tank is happy when he's being beaten by Morpheus, but he won't be when he starts beating Morpheus.
Take a look at his neurokinetics.
Notice.
He's way above normal.
But he's getting beat.
What are you waiting for? You're faster than this. Don't think you are. Know you
Come on, stop trying to hit me and hit me.
Notice when the tide turns, Tang is not happy at all. Dumb, feeble dozer that's why he loses his life at the end. So if you're feeble, even though if you're dozer or bulldozer, you're gonna be gone.
Believe it.
Okay, he says something here.
I can only show you the door.
I can only show you the door.
You're the one that has to walk through it.
You're the one you have to walk through it, right? And then right afterwards, I showed you earlier how he seduces him from heaven, right? So here the door is the gate of heaven. Whenever he wants him to commit something and expel him from heaven, right? He seduces him, but he's not going to force him. Remember Al Pacino telling, I think Keanu Reeves himself, right? In the movie, The Devil's Advocate. That's free will, all on your own, right? You know, like no forcing, no coercion. And that's in the Quran, really, that when Allah talks to Satan, you know, like, why did you disobey and so on? He said that I shall seduce and mislead your humans or servants, but then Allah decrees that possibly so, but you have no authority over them, meaning that you cannot command them in such thing. But he allowed him the misleading, the seduction part, or misleading, right? You know, like trickery. He allowed him to seduce them or misguide them by way of trickery, right? But he has no force over them. So it's a very potent, you know, he's got very potent potion here, you know, to mislead and distract the humans and corrupt them and so on. But he has no authority. I mean, he goes to the extreme of the earth, right? But we humans are also prone to failure, right? As well. So you see the game? It's all taken from the Quran, man. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. إن عبادي ليس لك عليهم سلطان وكفى بربك وكيلا. Just in case you guys want to know what I'm talking about in the Quran. Now he says the same thing when he goes into the oracle. Before he enters the oracle, he tells him, I can only show you the door, but you're the one to walk through it. So this is not just the corruption and misleading out of heaven, right? Or luring Adam, right? The Adam Street Bridge out of heaven. Every time he wants him to commit something worse, right? Something more sinister, something more damning, more damaging. He also tells him, I can only show you the door. So every time he misleads Neo, he does whatever he does to, you know, does to Neo, he tells him, you know, you're the one making that decision. Remember the reflection of Neo in his sunglasses when he gave him the pills? That's your decision, Neo. But it's all deception, of course. You have to sort through it. It'll help if you have something like if you taken already the green pill and have a, you know, guided like that into what this really is. That's what I'm doing here, showing you what it is. Here I have a new hint. I sorted this out not too long ago, like maybe yesterday, I don't know.
always look at it encoded?
Encoded.
Well, you have to. The image translators work for the construct program. but there's way too much information to decode the matrix. You get used to it. I don't even see the code.
I don't even see the code. The word code here has a meaning, right? Has a very important meaning. It hit me. Remember, I told you there's all the evidence that this cipher is meant to be Muhammad, right? The messenger. You know, I'm only the messenger, and you know that's who cipher is in this movie, but that's not what he is in real life, right? They're trying to stereotype him and you know, things of the sort, right? Is there truth to what they're saying here, what they're trying to claim in this movie about the prophet, him being part of Zion and so on in the book? No, folks, there's nothing that suggests that he is. And we know solid history, right? The history that was written before Zion began to write history or become an organized organization, you know, organized society or underground society or coherent existence, right? With secrets and rules and dogma and so on, right? So that's him. But what is the code? It's really the Sharia, right? The Sharia, the code that was presented, was brought by Islam, and then eventually it dominated the world. Now you may not like Sharia because you heard so much about it. I tell you what, folks, when you go to court, when you read law and so on, that's 90% from, at least 90% from Sharia itself, right? And it centers and pivots around certain concepts. One, the sanctity of a human freedom and the respect of their property and their honor and rights and so on. So the Sharia protects the individual and protects society, and of course prosecutes the offenders, right? And that's the least I can say about it. And it also presents something like prosecution, defense, and judge, and then jury, and then evidence, and then oaths, and so on. All that was brought by them, right? Millions of books, hundreds of thousands of books, right? And then when you go to court today or read the law, that's probably 90% from Sharia, with some modification to allow you to drink alcohol in public and, you know, do steal billions and trillions, right? And give it to investors and so on. You know, the modern law, it was designed, you know, from Sharia, but it was designed with loopholes. So the Morpheus and the Trinities and the tanks can siphon off trillions and destroy societies by abusing and riding on those loopholes, right? So that's what it is. But that's what the code is. So now this assures me that this is Prophet Muhammad. But what about the code here? That's the law. I told you this was the languages, and then I explained it as soldiers and people and human. Yes, but it could also mean law, right? Law and religion and code, right? Code of life and so on. And that's what they say. Morpheus says rules for him, right? Without rules, without code, without rules, without judges, without rule of the law, and you know, what they're trying to achieve is anarchy and communism and right. You see the ugly side of this guys. As much as they keep Neo in the dark about information and answer, right? They blind him, they deafen him, and they mute him, right? As a clone, as a corner of Zion, right? They also in this movie they use the same thing on you as a spectator or as a audience, right? Watching the movie, same thing. They don't exactly tell you what it is all about, but if you're able to sort out, which I told you, right? If you're able to sort out the gist of the movie, which I just told you, like in those few videos, right? You will realize there's horror there, folks. It tells you what you're gonna become. You're gonna become a dog and abused and heavily abused and used and killed. You become something awful, folks. And if you read that book, Simulacra and Simulation by Rabbi Baudrillard, they don't even let you even rest in peace after they use you and abuse you and kill you. Oh, no. They want to cut you and reproduce you and clone you and so on and so forth. It's, folks, the hatred in there is so deep. It's ugly. It's ugly, right? But that's what the code is here, right? That's what I think it is. And it gave me more hint. So now this guy, they say Muhammad, while he produced the code that was given to him by Allah, right? And that's the one that really runs the world now, right? Used by judges and so on and so forth. You may not see it, or even if you're a judge, you may not see it, but it's there. If you ever come around, I'll show you, right? You know, like he doesn't see the code. He also drinks. He's furtive, and he's got secret, and he drinks. You know, like he offers his son a drink, and when he's supposedly the one who, you know, Islam is the religion that forbade drinks, right? Drinking alcohol, right? Imbibing alcohol, and now he doesn't even care about the code. If you know what they mean, right, by that, can't be farther from the truth, folks. This movie is as ugly as it gets. Okay, continue. So I'll repeat this again. You know, in the trash can, Chinese, Japanese, Arabs, right, desert, right, and whatnot, right, the Europeans, I don't know. So that's their consideration for you as a human being. It's a trash can out there, right? That's their consideration. But here's a scene I wanted you to see. Notice there is a shadow of him here. So like I said, maybe residual images from his originator because he's a clone, or he's no longer alive or something of the sort. I don't know. But here it's eerie. You know, I used to eat there. Although when he exited from the hotel or the lodge or Nebuchadnezzar or room 303, as they exited from there, it shows you that he's never been outside before. Amazing, isn't it? Because they know, right? He doesn't know, but they know. I never tell him, of course. Morpheus here is not going to tell him that, hey, it's amazing because you never seen it before, because he cloned you, and he never tells him that.
God.
What?
God. Whenever they say God, he's talking about God.
I used to eat that.
Probably heavens, maybe, right? He used to be in heavens, no longer in heavens. Now he's in hell. Or no longer in heavens, he's here on earth now. So he doesn't eat anymore. So he remembers in his psyche, there's some kind of a memory from heavens, is what they're probably trying to say. One thing I wanted to mention is I got this from somebody, watching somebody. When I talked about the 1, 7, and the 7, you know, I kind of got confused, but the Jews apparently consider 7, that the world has been created 7 times and now we're in the 8th time, right? And you see that in other movies as well, such as 2001 Snake Odyssey or something of the sort, right? So number 8 is probably, that's how many times the world will be recreated or something of the sort. These are the heretic Sufis. You know, they used to go drink and do orgies and stuff and then create shit like that, right? For people. And the Jews just took it as is, right? Noodles. Noodles may mean snakes, right? Really good noodles. I don't know.
I used to eat that.
The way she's looking at him, right? She told him most guys do, and the dress or that coat is worn by Choi.
I have these memories from my life.
Memories from heavens, perhaps?
None of them happened.
None of them happened. Why? Because he's a clone, like I explained. Okay. And as I explained to you, the desert of the real is possibly this world as they exited from heaven and so on. That's another possibility. Okay, he says something here that's very important, and I think I have a historical marker on it.
She's very old. She's been with us since the beginning. The beginning of the resistance.
Of the resistance, I think, and I'm almost confident that's what it is. Excuse me. That he means the appearance of Islam 1450 years ago, right? They started because that's when Allah or God presented, you know, like force and power on earth, right? And they resisted that. Why? Because they don't like this notion of freeing human beings from their grip. Okay, here she says something about, like I proved to you earlier, here they mean to execute him, but they want the sperms, right? But here she says something that is a confirmation to what I what I told you before.
Okay. Now I'm supposed to say, that's interesting, but then you say,
But what?
but you already know what I'm going to tell you.
I'm not the one.
Sorry, kid. You got the gift. But it looks like you're waiting for...
Alright, so she says you got the gift, but it looks like you're waiting for something. Waiting for what? Notice what she says next.
What?
your next life.
Your next life. What is the next life? It's really death. What she just said is you're waiting for your next life. Meaningly, that's it, you're dead. You're gonna be killed, right? That's what this is here. He's come to see her and say goodbye, that's all. She wanted to see him before he got killed. They have decided to execute the man, right? Ever since he fell down from heaven, or whatever he did. That's what she just said. You're waiting for your next life. Why would you want to wait for your next life? If you want to understand this by way of reincarnation and cyclic life, according to some those occults and so on, and that's what the Buddhist monk is, right? They believe in resurrection, not resurrection, reincarnation, right? That's what he's waiting on. So the man is dead man. He's a dead man walking. That's all there is to it. Have you seen that movie, Dead Man Walking? Or no. That movie in jail. When they execute someone, they say dead man walking, right? Now notice when she says your next life maybe.
What?
Your next life, maybe.
And she gets the cookies ready.
Who knows?
I speculated about the cookies being poisoned. I was subjected to that myself, but I guess I survived it. Well, that one, but later I got poisoned, or I got imps coming into my apartment, spiking my food.
The way these things go. What's funny?
Morpheus. Yeah.
Notice what she says here.
Here. Take a cookie. I promise by the time you're done eating it, you'll feel right as rain.
So I checked this out in one of the well-known dictionaries. I don't want to say the name. I don't recall the name. But it said, you will feel right as rain is something that you say to somebody after getting one good night's sleep. A good night's sleep. Good night's sleep. You tell them, if you take a good night's sleep, or if you have yourself a good night's sleep, you will feel right as rain. So now, this is a double layered here. Meaningly, good night's sleep. Meaningly, guess what? You tell somebody good night. That's what they tell them, like the mafia when they waste people. And they put them, like remember? Celazzo, not Celazzo. I forgot his name. Mussolini, in the Godfather's movie. Not Mussolini. I forgot his name. And you say, when Barzini sends the fish, or Celazzo sends the fish to Sonny, and he says, that means he sleeps with the fishes tonight, remember? So he's gonna get himself a good night's sleep. That's it. This guy is just here. That's it. He's gone. Not his sperms and his clones, of course. You see the story I just explained to you about the fridge, about those empty baskets, about, the potentials that will bear his children, and that little Buddhist monk, the riddle of this movie. I think here, he looks a lot like Trinity. Okay, one more note here. Neo likes cats. So they're probably here, what they're trying to say is Neo is certain someone. If you want to find out who this someone is, then he loves cats. Are you kidding me? I love cats, man. Cats are my personality. And here in the sad story, I got closer and looked close, took a close look, to the screen. It looks like a statue of someone, a decapitated statue, but it's holding its head, right? A statue that's decapitated, but it's holding its head by way of something. Or it could be like a baby, right? With two legs. These are the two legs here, and that's the head, and then surrounded by a coiled snake. Maybe that's a snake here, right? I don't know. I don't have high definition, but yeah, it does look either that or this or a snake or, I don't know. But it's sinister. However, here, like I said, it may be infiltrated by black devil or something. However, it could also be Neo, someone who loves cats. Man, I've been trying to put myself in this movie for a long time. You know what? But I just can't. However, here I got a chance, right? There's also something else about the cat. It may also signify here the angel of death, right? I don't know. An angel of death signifying or signaling his death, right? Now, and that's a signal also for everybody else, like Morpheus and Trinity, to basically duck out and kill everybody else. That things are working out now just fine. Time to escape, right? And then kill Cypher and all those guys. But keep the Morpheus family and Zion and Tank. But guess what? Bulldozer is like the feeble guy who just got lost on the way, remember? So that could also be a signal. So three things. One is his love for cats. Two, this is the angel of death, like cat, black cat, and then he tells Trinity that's a black cat, and they know that's the signal. Or this could be, an infiltration. And when you see it, you see a headless, right? Here a mangled statue. So that's the signal, So I think highly likely that's the signal. Let's see. Yeah, he loves cats too, right? And notice the code is that of Choi as well.
What did you just say?
See? Because they know signal was supposed to be sent to them.
Nothing.
During, like the killing or something of the sort. Or execution.
What did you see?
Deja vu. It happened before, right? So many Neos went through this here. Walked this path or the door.
A black cat went past us, and then another that looked just like it.
How much like it? Was it the same cat?
Might have been a... I'm not sure.
So you see? So that's a signal that the angel of death, or, it's a signal for them, sent by the oracle, or, things of the sort, right? I think I showed you this before, but let's see it again. As you can see, this guy has the angel behind him. That angel that's sitting on, and then so angelic beings transforming, and you gotta ask Morpheus or Obama. So here is a generic note.
The reality through misery and suffering.
So, as you can see, the serum or the injection here has something metallic in it, like silver, like aluminum, or or something, or not brass, rather aluminum, right? And then we are between 7 and 8. So now we're in the 8th, right? So I don't know if that means much, but the chemical that they're injecting in him is silvery, right? Looks like, if you recall, when Neo, let me show you. So as you can see, the color here of this metallic hand is like that serum in that needle or that syringe that was stuck in Morpheus's neck. That's just a note. I don't know, coincidence. But let's go back there. All right, I'm going to make a few notes here.
Its beauty, its genius. Billions of people just living out their lives. Oblivious.
Oblivious that there is a war going on or battle going on. People don't care, right? Don't care, don't bother to go dig deep. And the main reason for that, as I found it, is that man or a human usually trusts human, or if they're aware or guarded, they're not guarded in a situation or something similar to a situation where you're guarded against predators, right? Such as big cats or bears or sharks or something of the sort. We're guarded, but not to the degree that we kill or get killed or prevent killing or something like that. Total distrust. No, it doesn't happen like that. That's how we humans live.
Did you know that the first Matrix,
Okay, so that's the serum here.
human beings define their reality through perfect
As you saw, it looks like that metallic hand.
your primitive
But here, this is bullshit. Here, these two are the same, right? As I explained to you, this is a jinn or fallen angel, supposedly 666, and these are the angels of Allah or God, right, on this earth, and they're fighting. Could there be an alliance, the underlying alliance? Possible, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. But no, I don't believe it based on what I know from history, right? These guys cannot just go betray, right? Or disobey, let's put it this way. But now, here, this is abstracted, meaning they're talking to us human. So we have a primitive cerebrum, right? Primitive cerebrum. This is similar to the cortex, right? Metacortex, the cortex, that front part of the brain where supposedly our intelligence is and so on. Well, it's not there, but that's what they're saying it is, right? Trying to wake up from... let's do that again.
These human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. The perfect world dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned.
So, what he means by that is that we are creatures of experience. We humans function by experience. Meaningly, it's our senses, what we experience, whether it's physical or emotional or whatever it is, we learn by experience. We have a limitless capacity to learn and understand and wake up, but we begin with nothing really, is what he's saying. And we're trying to wake up from this misery because we are living in misery every day. Some of that is true, but not 100%. So here, this scene also, I'm going to go a little bit on the religious history and religious side of it. Satan was basically round or cornered and sized down by the appearance of Islam or Muhammad, right? Because the religion of Islam is really anti-satanic. I mean, if you read about the Quran and the tradition and it declares him as the enemy of mankind, right? And now he's cornered here. Give me a second. And now he's cornered, right? Really was the appearance of Islam when Satan was completely out of the picture. Wasn't there fully operational on earth? No. But whatever was, and the stories of heavens and hell and so on, and our expulsion from heaven and so on, it all came from the Quran. It doesn't really exist elsewhere. You may disagree. If you ever do, I will explain it to you out of your own resources. But that's what it is. Here he's basically sized down and cornered and notice when he gets supposedly freed,
Future is our world. Yes.
the angels, here what they're saying is the angels. Maybe if you see. So now Zion fights to free Satan, right? Or the 666 or Morpheus or Morpheus, right? From the grip of religion of Islam in that matter. You may disagree with me or think I'm going on the periphery talking about Quran and Islam here. Believe me, so much of that movie is actually taken from the Quran and so on. So are a lot of books that you read. Even 2001 Snake Odyssey and the Black Monolith being the cubic house in Mecca. So there's a battle now, right?
Dodge this.
Give me a second there. So now this water, the waterfalls, as I explained earlier, I don't know, but I think it's like against the desert of the real. Where Satan is, there's water, right? Wells and lake and waterfalls, wabash, water flowing over white stone and so on. They may mean back in heavens, right? So when they say the desert of the real, that's Islamdom, right? Because we're desert, right? Then you find that again in the movie Signs, when Night Shyamalan, blah blah, right? Talks about go into the water because those creatures, they hate water and so on and so forth. What they mean by that is like people lived in the desert, right? Not that they didn't live near water, right? So here, let me show you something. See, now the water starts flowing. When they came and attacked, water started flowing again because Satan is about to be liberated from his jail. Maybe those Muslims trapped him, I don't know, well, virtually speaking. And now the Jews, Zion, come to free him. Okay, let's see. I want to show you something here. Now notice how he looks up toward God, toward Allah. And count these. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 55 here. Does that mean anything? I don't know, but hey, got water. Now water of life. See? Now he's gloating, hey, I'm breaking free. This is no different from the movie when Vin Diesel, in the movie Pitch Black, he tells his, I think his, whoever it is, his guard or something, that you should have killed me when you had the chance. No, Morpheus, Morpheus, your life is very important. Alright, I'm almost close to finishing this video. Give me a second. Okay, this is the last note I'm gonna make here. I'm gonna comment. This is the last comment. Notice what she says to him. They're inside, right? But notice what she tells Neo.
Hurry, Neo.
Hurry, Neo. Why? Because earlier she said we can't get out. We can't do it unless he's out. So what she's saying, hurry to your death, room 303, because they placed the agents there to kill him, right? They know that. So she wants him to hurry. Why? Because now Zion is getting exposed, fighting and destroying and killing and they want to dive down into their hiding place where they can't be seen anymore, right? So she's telling him, hurry, because those sentinels are now inside, right? You see what I'm saying, right? Here also there's another meaning. Notice.
They're inside.
They're inside mean they've been recruiting a lot of people or inducting or in masonry and so on, which is a second level or the basement of Zion, or it's the corral that is used by Zion, in the animal farm, right? But they're inside, meaningly, they're being recruited and so on and so forth, but that's only temporary and their usage is over. So there is like a discovery going on now. And then Trinity says, hurry, Neo.
Hurry, Neo.
Right? They're not waiting for him, they're waiting on him to get killed, but they have the sperm that will become the new Neo. Well, that's long enough. I promise, and I promised, I know I promised before that I'm not going to make any other videos, but but guess what, as I walk sometimes or I do things, you know, the ideas and notions just pop up in my brain and like bubbles, right? And I thought there was a correction, right? A correction on the theory that I had of you know, like when he was on the stretcher and so on. But I think you get the gist of the movie. You guys can sit down and guess, you know, like speculate and so on. Maybe you know better than I do. For example, I was watching certain video on certain media outlet yesterday, and this particular rabbi said that the world has already been created 7 times, and now there's the 8th time, and so on and so forth, right? So you know what? 7 and 8. Guess what? That's what I thought it is, right? That explains the 1-7 for me. You know, I'm not initiated or whatever it is. You know, those. I took the green pill, and that's plenty of freedom for me. Have a nice day, and we'll see you in the next video. Maybe a different movie or different something. Unless I really spot something really, my brain, you know, my back, the processors, those trillion processors in my brain can spot something and then mention it to me. Then I'll record the video. Have a nice day and talk to you later. Bye now.